first one comes from videocards.com. First of all, we're gonna like preface this that with videocards.com and videocards.net isn't exactly a very trustworthy source. However, there have been times that they've been accurate. So, RTX 4090 and 4080 supposed to be coming pretty soon. Some specs have leaked, as well as a possible announcement/release date. I believe it's sometime in October. It's supposed to come soon. Okay, that's kind of insane, by the way. 660 watts on a 490. Like it's getting a little scary to run computers with high watt. Like you're getting very close to a point where when your computer loads up, it'll actually trip a breaker. Right? In North America, we're 15 amp breakers at 110 volts. We're looking at about 1500-ish watts. If you have a 15 amp, so you're very close to that point. So if you're running your 490 equipped computer like a Threadripper or like an Epic or something, the moment you load that thing up, by itself could already trip a breaker. Imagine if you have lights on, the heater, an air conditioner, fans, lights, multiple screens. It's crazy. We're getting to a point where all the chips are, I guess it's kind of like, you're getting to a point where it just kind of plateaus when you're just, all you could do is squeeze in more voltage and wattage out of it to just get it, Why do I need this? No one really does. Honestly, it's powerful. The 3090, when that came out, it wasn't really meant for the gamers either, to be honest. Like the reason why the 3090 sold really well was more of the people who are using it for rendering, really, because like 24 gigabytes of VRAM is already insane to begin with, and like most PC gamers won't really need that. Okay, let's look at the specs here. Hopefully it's still visible up there, right? AD102 chip, 24 gigs of GDDR6 RAM, clocked at 21 gigabits per second, which is good. But we're going to talk about the 3080, 3090 in a second, because another part of the story is, the Ethereum merge that happened, was it yesterday or is it happening today? I don't remember. But the Ethereum merge is making GPU mining pretty much useless. So you're going to see a lot of 3090s, 3080s, and 3070s flooding the market again, which hopefully would drop GPU prices again. How long we're not going to last, we have no idea, because even if Ethereum does merge and GPU mining is not a thing anymore, there's going to be another coin that's going to come out that's going to be using GPU mining eventually. That's what happened to Bitcoin. It happened to Litecoin, right? Like, without digging deeper into the crypto world, it's another coin would come in, 100%. We just don't know when or how. And obviously, the miners would just want to get rid of their GPUs fully and probably start fresh at some point. The 4080 would get 16 gigs of RAM on the same chip. It looks like A103 on the same. No, A102. So it's a different chip. The 12 gig version of the 480 would have okay, so it's 360 watts max, and with the AD104 chip. See, I think for most gamers, if you're upgrading to a new card, the 480, the 470 Ti, the 480 is probably more than enough. Let's look at the spec here. So the GPUs are different. We're looking at obviously way more CUDA cores on the 4090, 24 gigs of RAM, 16 and 12. The memory bus is also different, which is kind of expected every year. It's kind of like a 122, 256, and 384. And then the power, which is at 660 watts. Damn. This is all speculation, obviously. Videocards.net, like I said, hasn't really been uber trustworthy in their posts, but incoming 4090 and 4080. There was another article online earlier. I don't have it on hand, but October is supposedly the time to wait for the new 4000 series cards being announced. This is a tweet from Moore's Law is dead. The launch for the 4080 and the 4090 is expected to be early to mid October and November respectively. So it's gonna be coming. It's coming. Now, does that mean we're gonna get it? Like the public will get it? Probably not. But future-proof myself with these cards going forwards by getting a 1000-watt PSU. These space heaters are getting out of hand. 100%. That's why I keep talking about the M chips on Apple side, because the amount of horsepower you get from an Apple chip for the like super small amount of wattage you're burning is super nice. That's why I like using a MacBook as a portable machine, because like I barely have to charge it, and I'm still editing footage with it. Like it's still very powerful. You're still getting a lot of efficiencies out of it, more than just the amount of power that you're pulling. With the new RTX cards, right? We're expecting 660 watts on the 490. Can you just imagine how much of the how many people's houses will have breaker strip? Like, for example, like this setup, my room here, right? I've got an air conditioner here. It's not on, but I've got two computers back there, each of which have a 600 watt. No, one is 700 something watt, the other one is 600 watt power supply. If they both go fully loaded, like I run 4Mark on it or a 3D Mark, I turn on the air conditioner and keep the lights on, my entire top floor of this house will turn off, because I'm breaking 15 amp breakers. Like in countries where they run 220 volt and higher amperage, then sure. But obviously North America got the shaft of that, because we get 110 volts at 15 amps per break on the breakers. I've been impressed with the M1 chip, dude. Same. That's why I'm excited to see what happens in October, because they're supposed to be releasing M2s, and that's what I'm waiting for. Because depending on how well the M2 drop would be, I am fully willing to start working to transfer this streaming rig, to the Mac. So instead of running another computer with a 2060 in it, that's like pushing out so much heat and eating so much wattage, a MacBook Pro at fully loaded is only like 100 watts off the wall. So I'm thinking about heat. I'm thinking about power consumption as well. It's also to aggregate all of my work to two machines, one gaming and one work machine. That's all. No more like streaming PC versus gaming PC versus MacBook versus iPad. There's so many things going on that consolidating of everything is just very important right now. Are you running any what kind of cards are you running right now? Are you upgrading? Are you planning to jump onto the 4090, or anybody else who's listening? Are you planning to jump on to the 4090? And if so, what are you on now?